First coming out is the former WWE Divas champion, Beth Phoenix. Heavyweight champion, Sheamus. Guys, welcome to Chicago. So, my first question for you guys. There are a lot of people here right now who would absolutely love to be where you guys are today. Tell us a little bit about your career, how you guys got started. Sheamus, how was you first?
So I'd say, shout for most of the time here. How do I start? First of all, it's great to be here in Chicago. I have a lot of family who actually live in Chicago too, so there's a big Irish-American presence here. As a lot of other, Italian-American and so forth, but I've always had a dream to be the WWE. It wasn't something that just popped into my head when I was a teenager or, early 20s. I went to WWE shows in London, a lot of events, and I met Hitman Hart, and he gave me information in school in New Jersey, which I went to start training in New Jersey, and then got boards. Irish Combat took a couple of years off, and Irish promotion called Irish Wrestling. Is that me, or is that the microphone?
White noise.
I think I'm allergic to the microphone. So I started wrestling in Dublin, and I started paying for my own way to go to England and across Europe to wrestle. And every time WWE came over for TV in the UK, I'd fly myself over and do tryouts. Took a couple of tryouts, and I eventually got signed on 7. Florida, and the rest is history.
So awesome to be back in Chicago. It's funny, my story is a lot like Sheamus's. I grew up the biggest WWE fan ever, very loyal to WWE. And it was my dream from the time I was a little girl to become a wrestler. At one point, actually I have a good story about Chicago and my journey to becoming a wrestler. I began as an independent wrestler at 19 years old, and had an opportunity to try out for Tough Enough 2. And I made it past like the first couple of rounds, and then the regional round was here in Chicago. And I had a job in Buffalo that, didn't want to give me the day off or whatever, and I had to make the choice basically to drive after work from Buffalo all the way here in my crappy Geo Prism to try and make it in time for that. Hey, it was a hot car back then. But did the crazy 8.5-hour drive, and I know you guys know there's a McDonald's off the highway on the way in. I believe it's off the 90. And I actually stopped and got ready in the bathroom of that McDonald's for my Tough Enough tryout, and did makeup in that bathroom, and it was just part of my journey here. And ended up, I didn't end up winning that Tough Enough. I made it all the way to Hollywood and got sent back home, but it was a great story for me in perseverance and not wanting to give up. I ended up, leaving everything behind, moving to Louisville, training for several years, and working very hard to get a chance in WWE. And once I made it there, I clutched onto that dream and held on to it for dear life, and I'm not about to give it up anytime soon.
So when I told my dad, it's very much like, my dad is very much like the whole get a career, get a house, get married, get kids sort of deal. Like, so I had a good job back home in Dublin, Ireland, in IT. I remember one time, he keys to the house obviously, so I remember one time he had a show. Back then I was shaving my head, I was, I was using the fake tan like everybody else, because that's what I thought we had to do to get noticed. I remember one of my mates was actually had a can of spray can, and my dad walked in the house, and I didn't know he walked in, so there I stepped there in my underwear, and this dude was just spraying me in the back. My dad looked at me, shook his head, and then walked out of the house. I didn't even pick up the phone for about 2 weeks after that.
natural Sheamus. No fake tan anymore. No fake tan.
What WWE superstars did you look up to while you were on your path, and who do you still look up to?
I actually, it's not one particular superstar. I looked at, there's a couple. I remember the first show I saw live, which was in Dublin, I think 1991. Two of my favourite superstars was $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, the British Bulldog. I was a big fan of like a lot of the entertaining superstars, more or less the villains. I was a big fan of Perfect, Rick Rude, Triple H, Austin, all those guys, all the way through Bret the Hitman Hart. So a lot of different superstars. Macho Man Randy Savage as well. I was a big fan of his. But I just a lot of different. And so I was inspired by a lot of those different superstars, different personalities about them, and different abilities. And that's what they helped me glue to the TV. They wanted me to. They helped me actually inspire me to follow my career and become a WWE superstar. And without them, I probably wouldn't be sitting here with you now, because they're the ones that have to lose the TV screen on Saturday morning and whenever else when you use on TV.
That's great. That's great. Beth, how about
Yeah, we totally have similar taste. I mean, one of my favorite wrestlers was the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. I always loved the bad guys, and there was something about him being so evil and villainous and then smiling while he was doing it. It just was like, oh man, I secretly want to be like that. But and then I gotta go with the Hearts.
And rich too, right?
And being rich doesn't hurt, But yeah, the Hearts, Bret Hart, Owen Hart were absolutely what inspired me to do this. Their match at WrestleMania 10, brother versus brother, the opening match, was like the match that I was like, oh my God, I don't know how, but somehow I have to figure out how to do this. This is it for me. And it's funny because I ended up meeting Bret Hart. I'm sure you all know I've tag teamed to work with Jimmy and Neidhart's daughter, Natalia, quite a bit. And so the time came for me to finally meet Bret. And it was the FCW clinic actually in Florida. And I was just starstruck. I mean, if Brad Pitt had been sitting in front of me, it would have been as cool as meeting the Hitman. And he was just as much of a hero in person as what I hoped. So it was a really cool experience to get to actually meet one of my heroes, and it was as good as I thought it was going to be. I was lucky.
Good stuff.
Yeah, talk about Bret Hart. I was with him as a bouncer in a nightclub in Dublin, and I had no idea how to get started in wrestling or even follow the path to WWE. And he came in with some promotion called World Wrestling Alliance, which was formed 10 days after WCW went down. And he was in the club, and I went over and asked him, and he could have, he was there with his family, he still took the time to talk to me, and he didn't know who I was or Adam. I'm just another fellow in the security or bouncer there. He took his time, he took me aside, gave me advice, told me the next day to come in his hotel, and gave me all the advice I needed to try and follow the path to becoming a superstar. He didn't know me, and he was like, to me, I was like, I love watching him. The fact that he did that, and he didn't know who I was, just showed what a class guy Bret Hart is.
Sheamus, I also heard that at one time you used to be a bodyguard for you too?
That follow-up question comes a lot. Yeah, so the same club, his body used to come in all the time. I used to basically just make sure that, the shoulders rings or nothing flashing, as I said, I'm a much bigger star than I always now. It's autographs. I mean, I let him come over and cut the grass in the house back home and stuff in the hedges. I'll throw him $5 or $10 down the game, because he's stuck for money bottle, he doesn't come very well off, so I try to help him out whenever I can. That's my good deed, that bottle.
What was the best advice that you guys were given along your path before you got to this point?
Ooh, best advice. Actually, Steve Corino gave me very good advice early on in my career, and that was, whatever you make in wrestling, reinvest into it. I mean, when I was beginning on the independent scene, I was making peanuts to begin with, and whatever I made, I didn't, take it and spend it on anything else. I always used it for gas, or to buy new boots, or to do anything that helped further my career, because I wanted to be as professional as possible, no matter what stage of the game I was at, even if I was wrestling in front of 10 people. So that was great advice, and then many years later, I had the fortune to meet the late, great Eddie Guerrero. And Eddie gave me advice that stuck with me for the last 10 years, and he said, the measure of a man is not how many times he falls down, it's how many times he picks himself back up. And unfortunately, and fortunately for me, many times in my career where I've been knocked down, I've fallen down, I've been hurt, I just told myself that, you know, this is just one more time for me to pick myself back up, and I've learned so much, and it's made me a much, much better, stronger person.
Sheamus, how about you?
The most important thing I was told was respect, you know, just having respect when you, especially when for what we do and with the colleagues and co-workers. And having respect for what we do and for everyone who's coming before us and everyone who comes after us, especially with the superstars coming before us, also respect for them because they paved the way for us, you know. Obviously, if there would be no Bret Hart or Shawn Michaels or Triple H or Undertaker or, you know, a lot of superstars, you know, Taker's still going, but you know, there'd be no platform for us to perform. Like even like we did the Legends shows, like you see Hillbilly Jim, you see Gene and you know, Roddy Piper, all these guys. These are guys who set the stage for us. And the other thing as well is it's always create a good first impression because you never get a good chance, you never get an opportunity to create another first impression. First impressions a lot of times stay with people, so no matter what you do, always try to make a good first impression. Very important stuff. Cool.
Both of you guys have been to Chicago many times now. Tell me a little bit about what you love about the city and what's so amazing about the Chicago fans, Chicago WWE fans compared to other fans. What makes the fans of Chicago stand out? Beth?
Well, actually, I was just talking about this in the car with Sheamus, that there's a few cities across the country that have very intense, dedicated, loyal wrestling fans, and I just happened to check my Twitter on the way over here. There's two right there, self-proclaimed. But you know, I got a bunch of tweets on, you know, from some of you guys saying that you were waiting here for hours, and that's one thing about the Chicago fans that I look forward to so much. You guys remember, you guys put investment into feuds. You remember the tiniest little things that, you know, that I've done here in my career, and I appreciate that. And I think that's across the board. You guys also appreciate real wrestling. You know, and to me, there's a special place in my heart to keep women's wrestling alive. And, you know, I love that the Chicago fans really invest themselves in a good wrestling match. That's an art. It's not easy to do. And, you know, coming here, I know that we're going to be able to put on a great show and it'll be appreciated. So, other than the awesome city and everything it has to offer, there's a little bit of magic every time we come here, like Frank Sinatra said. And, you know, it's very, very special town with so much history, and we always look forward to coming back.
All right, so my opinion in Chicago is this.
Easy time.
No, it's good, that's all good. I think the great thing I like about Chicago is this, is that, no, you can't tell people in Chicago what to do or when to do it. All of you people do what you want when you want, right? Which is great, you know, because it's like this, to me sometimes this crowds that, you know, that go with the flow and do what they're supposed to do. But the great thing about Chicago is the unpredictability. Like, for example, tomorrow with Daniel Bryan, I'm not sure what to expect tomorrow. I don't know, I mean, to be honest with you, well, I'll tell you something, no matter, what?
18 seconds.
What? Take his head off. I'll do my best to keep his head off. No, but the great thing about Chicago is every time you go to the show, you want to be entertained, you want to be excited. You're not there to sit on your hands. You're not there to sit on your backsides and keep your head shut. You like to be heard. Everyone in Chicago likes to be as much part of the show as the WWE superstars. And that's why it's exciting for me to come back here. And when I got back last year, I got the biggest ovation ever at that time. I remember putting Sakara through a table. I remember people booed me. Everyone was off their feet clapping. This is the most bizarre thing I'd ever seen. But no, I'm excited for Chicago. Every time you perform here, it's amazing. You guys are amazing. The loudest crowd ever, and the most fun to be in front of. So, regardless of what happens, Extreme Rules tomorrow is just going to be off the hook.
Last couple of questions here. Sheamus, you've got a 2 out of 3 falls match tomorrow. How do you prepare for something like that? That's your first one, right?
Yeah, this is my first ever 2 out of 3 falls match. You know, the only way you can prepare for something like this, obviously, is have endurance. You know, there's a lot more cardio involved, a lot more stamina involved. Normally, when you rule a match, you know, if I hit it with a broad kick or, you know, occasionally, if it goes the other way, that's the end of the match. You push yourself to the end to get that fall. Tomorrow's a different story because even if you get one fall, you still have to get one more. So, you know, I'm going into unknown territory tomorrow. My cardio, I've been obviously working with my cardio and stamina, but who knows? Maybe I'll catch him with 2 broad kicks in 36 seconds. If that happens, I'll be straight to the bar fella with a pint of Guinness in your hand. You can all join me if you want.
We don't get paid by the hour, Sheamus.
Well, it's more time in the bar if I kick his head off in 36 seconds.
Or,
that makes sense?
Or Kumas, just saying.
It's okay.
Or Karma.
Speaking of your match tomorrow, Daniel Bryan, what do you think of his yes chant?
It's another yes, I think the yes chant is great. I'll be honest with you. People are so emotionally invested in him and his yes chant now that it just makes it so exciting. And think about it, like a month ago when our feud got into WrestleMania, you know, everybody was talking about The Rock and John Cena and of course Triple H, Undertaker with Shawn Michaels, and even the Jericho Punk match as well, big. And obviously my world title match to me meant the world was nothing more important than that. But you have to realise at WrestleMania, it wasn't on the forefront of everyone's mind. Everybody was Rock and Cena. Now we're on to Extreme Rules. Even though Brock is there with Cena, and that's going to be a great match. So that's great. Obviously, Brock being back is huge, but everybody's literally talking about me and the stuff at Daniel Bryan. And that's what it is. It's like, we're going in, our feud literally officially probably started at WrestleMania. And now we're Extreme Rules tomorrow. Well, you're going to see 2 fellas kicking lumps out each other, black and blue, for what Daniel Bryan considers the most coveted championship in WWE, the World Heavyweight Championship.
And Beth, what's next for you?
What's next for me? What? Who?
Karma.
What? I don't know.
How's the ankle?
What's next for me is tomorrow's Extreme Rules, and I take it one day at a time. I'm going to be competing tomorrow in a title match, my return match. I lost the championship on Monday. But again, like Eddie said, it's all about picking yourself back up. So tomorrow, come hell or high water, if I have to lob this thing off from the knee down and hobble the ring, I will do that, and I will win my championship back. And I look forward.
What was that with this fella here?
You said it much better than me, sir. Thank you.
There's your future publicist right there, fella.
Well, hey.
Can you get a megaphone? Can you get a megaphone? That's it then.
All right, everybody.
You're not shy now. You're not shy.
All right, everybody. Sheamus and Beth Phoenix.